All right, hey everyone, I'm Samuel. I'll be your trainer for AWS Solution Architect. Uh, Let me talk about me after some time. Let me get you introduced with the certifications available with AWS and the type of certification that we will be picking and what covers in that certification. And then I'll tell you my expertise, the work I've done with AWS migration, provisioning, and all that stuff. So to begin with, there are multiple certifications in the cloud. Now, cloud is the talk of the town, and we will be starting with the associate level. All right. And I hope, just a quick check, I hope my audio and the video that I'm sharing is clear enough for everybody. All right. So, uh, we will be starting with Solution Architect Associate level. Now, there are new certification introduced by Amazon Cloud Practitioner. This is really for non-technical or semi-technical, like pre-sales and somebody who's fully into people management or even in finance, and they want to know about cloud so they can do their work better. All right, so it's for them. But any technical personnel, they would be picking Solution Architect Associate and will move way up. All right, so this is where we stand. Let's talk about the roles and responsibilities of the Solution Architect Associate. All right, roles and responsibilities would include designing and deploying a highly scalable and fault tolerant system in AWS. An environment that's highly available. If something goes down, I still have another complete environment to run with, and a highly scalable environment, meaning as and when more requests comes in, my environment should sort of expand itself based on the request, right? Based on the load that's coming in. And our responsibility would be to build that type of environment. And the course curriculum and the job responsibilities will include a lift and shift an existing or on-premises application into AWS. We will do labs on this. We will learn about it, and we will talk and learn about how to get data into the cloud and how to get data out of the cloud. All right, that's something we will learn. And there are a lot of services available on Amazon. There are like 140 services. Let me quickly show the console. All right, there are like 140 services available in Amazon. All right, these are all the services available on Amazon, and some of them do the same thing with a minor difference between the other service. All right, so we will talk about how to pick the right service for the need. All right, how to pick the right service for the need based on cost, based on the requirement, based on the SLA, based on the RTO, stuff like that. How can I pick, or how to pick the right service? That's something that we will talk about. And some best practices advised by Amazon itself, right? That's good for you to follow. So you don't have to learn the hard way, right? So that's something we will discuss in the course curriculum. And of course, yes, the costs that would be involved in running an application in the cloud. So we will talk about how to foresee a cost. And if I include another service, how much roughly it's going to cost to run into the cloud. And a bit more discussion on moving from CapEx to OpEx type of environment. Now, if the bill is going to be on a monthly basis instead of we doing heavy spending initially, purchasing a lot of equipment and setting things up, so it's going to be different. So how to sort of get adapted ourselves to the new type of costing model. So that's something we will discuss in the course curriculum. All right, so we help get certified. All right, and we help with any of the project constraints that you might have. It's an 45 hours training. That's what we have planned. All right, and every new batch will have something new in it. All right, so it's a 45 hours training, and initial 30 hours instructor led training is for you to get certified. Right, and we follow Amazon's official curriculum, and we get you certified. We train, we give enough lab, we give you enough hands-on. Every alternate day it will be a lab, right? On the first day it will be theory and lab session done by the trainer, and the second day you will be doing it, and you will go through some issues and everybody can talk about it, stuff like that. And it's going to be a very interactive session. Everybody would have like a lot of questions that would help others. So that's how it will be. So this is for the first 30 hours, all right? And then we have another 15 hours, right? And this is where we would discuss about my experience. This is where we would discuss about your experience. Some of them would be in a project that's getting migrated. Your application might get migrated, all right? So you can bring them in, and everybody will talk about it, right? As long as it's not company confidentials. So we will bring that in, and we will talk about it, and we will try to solve them, and we do solve them. All right. So let's say your project is getting migrated and you're stuck up somewhere, and you need some additional hands to sort of work and fix on it. I mean, fix it. So you can bring that discussion in, and we will be talking about it, and we will help you with how to go about finding a solution yourself, and we would be the additional hands that you would need at that time. So that's the course all about. All right, and it's going to be a recorded session. Towards the end, we will give you a recorded session. Let's say you were less attentive on a particular day for some reason, and you think you want to go back and refresh it. You have a recording which you can play back. This is not possible on classroom training or on-premises classroom training. So there are some advantages, and we filled with those advantages for you. All right. So talking about the products in specific. All right. Talking about products in specific, we'll train you, or you will be trained on Amazon cloud environment, Amazon compute resources in general. All right. The different options available: cloud storage, cloud database, cloud network. All right, and security in the cloud, and then application integration in the cloud, all right, and management tools for monitoring the cloud. So these are the different products. You will get enough hands-on, and you will be doing projects, and there are project submissions every week or every alternate day. So that's how it's going to be. And we will also be sending notes towards the end of the session, so you don't have to spend time picking a paper and writing things yourself. We will send you notes. So we will be sending you crisp notes that you can use to refresh, practice. They are lab as well as theory notes that you can use to refresh, practice, and appear for the exam or appear for the interview confidently, or go back and sit in your seat in office very confidently, taking up new cloud challenges. Right? That's what we train you with. And like I was saying, we train you on the official curriculum, right, as guided by Amazon. If you have questions about how much the exam fee is going to be, the exam fee is like $150, and we will have some 65 questions to 65 questions to attend and try, and the time to complete the exam is 130 minutes. All right, and we train you enough so you can confidently appear for the exam and get it cleared. All right. All right, so let me talk about me a little bit. All right, just a moment. Is that the PDF version? Yes. So I've got like 14 plus years of experience. I come from the system side, and that's an advantage for me to learn infrastructure as a service, which is what AWS is to the most part. All right, and the last company I was working with, and the last two companies I was working with, we did extensive projects on AWS, and more specifically, the last company I was working with, uh, uh, we were a partner with Amazon and Azure. We were helping Amazon and Azure customers to uh, build cloud environments, both in Amazon as well as in our environment. The hosting.com was the company I was working with, and that had its own cloud environment. So we were helping customers to have on-premises and cloud and multi-cloud environment. So that's how I got involved more into cloud migrations, cloud environment building, cost estimates, stuff like that. And training is something that I've been doing for a while, for the past 13 years, maybe. And back then I was training in networking and network security, a bit on Linux. That was before 10 years maybe, and I've been doing that since then. And lately, I started training on for the past 4 or 5 years maybe. I started training people on cloud, both within the company and outside the company. I was working closely with the training department, so I get to train them in-house and outside retail and corporate trainings as well. Right, so that's about me. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Right? And we extensively talk about, right? We extensively talk about different products, right? And I mean, with all due respect, I'm going to assume that you know nothing about the cloud. That's for your benefit, right? You know nothing about the cloud, and the training basically starts with what is cloud computing, and then fundamentals of AWS and stuff like that, and then we gradually build one on top of another. And finally, we will talk about the architecture. All right. Initially, it's going to be basics of cloud and then different products available in the cloud, the storage, networking, application integration products available in the cloud. And finally, we're going to help you, uh, build a proper architecture in the cloud. And the architecture, to some extent, is going to look like this. Right. So the architecture is going to look like this with DB environments in active passive mode, and your web environment, which is very much scalable, based on the load. I- Additional nodes will be added, and then it will release those nodes when the load goes low. And then we would have an network component elastic load balancer and DNS services. So all of them put together. This is really not an tool training. This is really not an particular language training where end to end you talk about just one thing. Be it Java or be it not .NET. End to end, you simply talk about one thing. So this is really not a tool training. This is architect level training. So we will be talking about all the components in an infrastructure. In this case, in the cloud infrastructure, starting from compute, starting from storage, the basics, network, web server, DB server, DNS services, and different types of storage available for the different types of data. One size won't fit all. So different types of data and different types of storage is available, and DNS service and edge services, cloud edge services or CDN, right, caching service present worldwide by Amazon. All right, so we'll be talking about them. And this architecture still does not include centralized logging and centralized monitoring. that is something we will also talk about. So it's not a tool level training, it's an architect level training. So you'll be talking about all the components present in the cloud environment, right? And one question I often get asked is, do I need to have Linux skills to learn AWS? No, you don't need to have. If you have, well and good. If you don't have, you're still good. All right. And the other question that I get asked is, do I need to have programming knowledge? Uh, Again, the answer is not really. If you do have, well and good, that will benefit you. And if you're planning to learn it at a later part, that will benefit you. Cloud and DevOps goes really well. People ask me, I mean, I'm on the DevOps side. Can I pick cloud? Yes, very much. They really work together. So let me show you some of the job opportunities and what's the demand in the industry as of now. Right. And you really can, I would encourage you really do it, you really do this exercise yourself at some point. So you really would pick what is suitable for you. All right. So this cloud environment sort of merges really well with all technologies. All right. Programming, backup, and testing, all right, designing. It really merges well with all technologies. All right. Now look at that. Look at some of the cloud. Look at some of the designations: architect and QA/QC engineer, Linux system administrator, Windows administrator, programmers. AWS plus .NET works well. AWS plus Java works well. Right. So this really complements your existing skill. Let me conclude that. This really complements your existing skill. So you don't have to unlearn everything and then try this something new. No, it's not that. Uh, it really complements your existing skill. You being a Java developer, you being any other developer, you've worked on any other language, it really complements your existing skill. Be it Linux, yes, it complements Windows, yes, it complements .NET, Java, yes, it complements testing environment, yes, it complements. That's how it is, right? And as we speak, there are like, let me see, how many jobs do we have? So as we speak, there are that many jobs available for AWS, right? And the top companies, top companies that are recruiting AWS professional, Accenture is on the top because Accenture is a technology partner. Just like other companies that you see in the list, they are technology partners with Amazon, and they help other customers migrate. They help other customers provision their environment in the cloud. So that's why there are huge openings on those companies, right? And what you would find interesting is the industry. All right, back then, if you want to work in IT, you really need to work on an IT company which does developing, which does supporting stuff like that. All right, now that has changed now because managing IT through AWS is easy. Companies, product-based companies or other companies which were back then outsourcing their IT environment are looking to have their own IT team because management is taken care by Amazon, and the IT overhead, the IT management is sort of cut in half. You still have complex work to do, but some of the repetitive, mundane tasks are sort of automated in the console itself. That we will learn at a later point. So what I'm saying is, the companies like, look at this, automobile companies are looking to have their own IT team. Oil and gas, medical, healthcare, they're looking to have their own IT team, own AWS professionals working or sitting in their office and working. All right. So anybody looking forward to work on product-based companies, the environment will be really good in product-based companies. Those who worked should be able to say yes along with me. So that's a good option to move into a product-based companies because yes, they are hiring AWS professional because IT has been simplified by the introduction of AWS and Azure, the cloud providers. All right. And just one more thing before I conclude. All right. Just a random search. Now, AWS is one among the top 10 certifications in 2018 as well. I say as well because it's been keeping it positioned in top 10 for many years now. All right. So, yeah. So, I mean, in your leisure time, anytime you find time, I would recommend this. Go to your favorite job search engine and do a quick search, AWS plus whatever skills that you're good at, and you will get to know the job roles and responsibilities that AWS offers. Now, there is no one job role and responsibility. If there was one, I would have shown you. There is no one job roles and responsibilities. Now, cloud is the new name for IT. So anybody who have worked in IT, they will be able to find a similar role in AWS cloud environment. And like I said, the existing skills will complement, and they will have to learn some new skills and sharpen their knowledge and sort of glamour fetch their existing skills with the cloud tools and technologies, and that would make them to be a very successful person in the cloud environment. All right, so that's all I had. If you have any questions, uh, please feel free to ask. We can stay back and discuss about it. You might have concerns, questions. Just shoot it out.